Welcome to the 154th episode of the MC Knitting Adventures podcast. My name's Colleen.
And my name is May. Welcome returning viewers, and for those of you watching us for the first time, we're so glad you could join us today. It's been a while. We've had a great summer. We hope everybody out there has had a great summer too. We're ready to get back into it. Fall's coming. The weather's changing a little bit.
That's
Still
right.
Nice days. Colleen and I can't wait to talk to you about our summer adventures. We went on a Holland America cruise. We went New England, Newfoundland, and we met some amazing people on our cruise. I want to say hi to Henry and Connie and Ashley and Joe. And we're also going to talk about the Loop in Halifax, the yarn store. We
Yes,
met
it's
Mimi.
amazing.
And we've got all those things to talk about. We'll talk about the cruise, we'll talk about the store in Halifax, and we'll do this in a few little segments because we did visit some other places throughout our trip this summer. Like I said, I hope everybody had a great summer, and we're excited to be back and to talk all about it. But before we begin, Colleen will talk about what we're wearing.
Perfect. Now, May is wearing the beignet, which is by Laura Nelkin. And May had worn that previously, but one of our subscribers wanted to have a closer look. So she's wearing it again. We're going to take some good pictures, and then you'll be able to see it. It's got just a little bit of bling around it, and May actually made the circle.
But I think you could probably buy these maybe at a Michael's or a craft store or something like that.
Yeah.
But I had a lot of fun making that too. So
Yes,
it was fun.
it looks really good on you. And for me, I'm wearing another Laura Nelkin design, and that's the Beaded Waves cuff. And there's what it looks like. And this is a nice one to get into if you're thinking about trying beads, because there's not a whole lot of beads, not a whole lot of yarn. Now this one uses a fingering weight yarn. And I think, yeah, both of these designs use fingering weight yarn. So if you know those little bits that you have left that you're not quite sure what to do, there you go. You can make some jewelry.
Yeah. Now, the nice thing about this one is like magnetic clasp. So there's
Yes.
different choices for clasp. So I think you've
Right.
done a little tutorial on that.
That's right.
But this is nice because I can just my arms are short. I realized that over the thing. When I go to play pickleball and do a backhand, my arm only goes that far.
That's right.
And then I realized that my arms are short. So,
Yes.
Long story short, this magnetic thing just clips in. It's not a problem to put it on. So thanks for the magnetic.
You're welcome. No problem.
Yeah.
So that's what we're wearing, and next we're going to talk about finished objects. First, want to talk to you about the Christine button cowl, and to do that I used Charisma by Loops and Threads, lovely yarn, and here we go. So I've made one in black, and the buttons that I use, these ones are a dark brown, but they've got a little bit of black woven through them. So it was nice to get the buttons on. That one's ready to sell. So our next craft show isn't until the end of November, beginning of December. And so we'll have to start stocking up for that. Now, that's my first finished object. My next finished object is a pair of socks that was designed for May. You saw those on the needles last time. And these are to match up with the ones that we made for May's cousin Margaret in Scotland. And we're going to send those away once Canada Post
Is on.
is decided whether it's going on strike or not. So this yarn with all the pattern is Timber Yarns, and it's Marled Ontario is what it was. So that's that. And then...
That's why we thought it'd be nice for Margaret in Scotland to have some Ontario.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then because I didn't have quite enough, then I used a contrast of Barocco vintage sock. I knew I was going to need to do something, and we found this gray in my stash, and it worked really well.
Nice.
I'm happy about those.
Good.
So that's that. Then you saw these hats last time. So these are the faux cable messy bun hat, and that's by Alison Bretz. There you are. These also use the Loops and Threads Charisma. And so I've got a black one. So basically the only thing I had to do with these ones is put the tags on. And there's this lovely green. I really like this green. It's
I
very
love
pretty.
that green color. Yeah,
Exactly.
that's nice. Yeah. The black's nice too, though.
Exactly. So I'm really happy. And
Yeah.
if you've never done a faux cable, this is a perfect pattern. And I'm going to
Nice. I love that yarn.
I know.
Feels
It's nice
like
and
warm.
soft.
Yeah, soft, warm.
Exactly. So
Nice.
that's that. Now, where do I go from here?
Wow, you've been busy, but
I
I
have.
don't remember seeing you knitting so much over
Well,
the holiday.
Well,
Summer.
you know, you just get going and
Yeah.
away you go. A lot of these were kind of partially done.
Oh, I see.
There we go. Now these are some socks that are for a birthday present. We won't say for whom. And this is the Katie Lou's sock pattern by Katie Lou Green. Very nice pattern. It fits all the boys' feet. And this is called Funny Feets by James C. Brett. And I got this at Lens Mills.
Nice.
So it was a good deal. Nice yarn, so that's good. Get that one done. And then my last finished object is a pair of the Newfie mittens, once again for sale. This is by Nadine Reeves. And I used 2 yarns. The main color is the black, which is Red Heart Soft. Once again, what's nice about this is there's no dye lot, so you don't have to worry about that, just in case you need part for the second mitt. And then the color, which you'll see in a second, which is the blue, is Lion Brand Heartland. And it's got a nice sheen to it, and it's got nice variation in colors. So there they are all done.
Now these are nice mittens, and you said these are not
Yes.
that difficult of a knit for beginner knitters, or
Right.
are they, or is it?
No, it's slip stitches, so you don't have to worry about color
Right.
work. There we go.
Does it matter where you put your
Nope,
thumb?
it
Okay.
doesn't. There you go.
And they're nice and high. I mentioned that before. They go up nice
Now,
and high.
the neat thing about them is because of the slip stitches, there's a little bit of I'm gonna say sucking in of it, but I made these mittens for the boys and for us and for my daughter-in-law, and it fits everybody.
Yeah, they're great.
There you
I
go.
love them.
Now, I have to go back because sometimes I'm just so excited. So the socks that I knit for Margaret, well, your socks to match Margaret.
Right.
She's going to go back.
I
We're
don't
going
know
back
this
in
up.
time. Here they come. That is the Jemima pattern, and that's by K.F. Jones of the Bakery Bears, and I just didn't want to miss that out. So it is a great squishy pattern. Like, it's lovely.
Yeah, I love
and
it.
I think you're going to enjoy wearing them. They're
Yeah.
almost, no, they're just cushy. I think
Yeah,
they'll be
they're
nice
nice,
in
yeah.
a boot or nice kind of a slippers around the
Right.
house.
Nice.
Yeah, it's good. So that is that. So those are my finished objects. And me, how about you?
Well, I certainly wasn't knitting over the summer, that's for sure. It's too warm, but it was a great summer.
It was.
And on our cruise, there was a little watercoloring, I don't know, tutorial kind of thing.
Yes.
So our finished objects are these watercolors. I
Yeah.
think this one is, which one is which? This is
mine.
yours?
Yeah, I did
There's
blues.
Colleen's.
This is going to shock you because May did more purple. So this
Oh.
is mine.
Yeah.
There we go.
That's why I got confused.
That's right.
And there you go.
Very nice.
So we did those for on the cruise. It was kind of a fun little
Yeah.
class, you know,
Exactly.
introduction to watercolor. They had
Exactly.
everything on the ship for
Exactly.
all kinds of things. So
It was
yes,
great.
so that was my finished object.
So those are our finished objects, and next we're going to talk about works in progress. My first 5 works in progress are going to look like they're done, but they're not. So that, once again, is the Faux Cable Messy Bun Hat by Alison Bretz. And we've done some that are plain, so we'll hand me over
These are
the
all
glue.
one size fits all, or
Basically, yes. I think they'd be good for kind of a teenage girl up to adult, for sure. So these ones are made with the Charisma acrylic, and this is 100 meters for 100 grams. Now,
this is a nice yarn.
it is lovely yarn.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very nice. And these are of the Charisma tweed. Now on the ball band, it just says that it's Charisma acrylic from Loops and Threads, but you need to be careful because this is 85 meters for 85 grams. So you don't get as much in a ball. So it makes it interesting when you're trying to figure things out.
These are nice.
They are nice. So what I need to do is I need to put tags on them. And then I need to get, I think I'm going to ask my daughter-in-law if she'll model because she's got
just
long
put a
hair.
Tag in that one.
Yep, to let me know where the back is.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And so she's going to, she's got long hair, so she can put a ponytail or a messy bun through.
And
then
she
we'll
can be
take
the
some
model,
pictures.
yes.
That's my plan.
Great
I've
idea.
got to ask nicely, but
Yes.
that's the plan.
Good idea.
Okay, so that's that. Now my next 1, 2, 3, 4 works in progress are the Christine Button Cowl by Cozy Up Knits. And once again, it's Loops and Threads Charisma. So I've made some that are tweedy. Now, the reason why they're only works in progress, they don't have their buttons on them. No buttons on this one.
I hope these sell again.
I do too. If not, people are getting Christmas gifts.
They are a bigger seller at the show.
That's right. So there's another one. And then the last one is the same thing, but this is what it looks like while you're busy knitting it.
Right.
And depending on your tension will depend on how many of the cable that you have to do. So this was pretty close to being done.
Right. I'm wondering, you know those little kind of like dicky, I guess they call them little dickies that
Yes.
you wear, and people love them. It's just
Yeah.
a little turtleneck.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you couldn't use this yarn
Yeah.
and a little bit of a cable just to throw on like that.
Right.
idea.
She's
That
giving
would-
me ideas.
That would be really nice. 'Cause
She's giving me ideas.
yeah, I like that idea.
There you go. So it's a lot of knitting, but the nice thing is when I get the buttons on, then it goes into the
Right.
ready to sell kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, and I'm really,
Good.
it's fun. These go quick. We've done a lot of nice drives because the weather's been so nice.
Right.
And every once in a while we have to stop for French fries, which is not a
Yes.
problem in my life.
Oh, we found the best French fry place, you know, a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, that's right.
We can talk about that maybe later on. And
Exactly. We don't know if we want to
Didn't
tell you,
yeah,
but it's really good.
But it's a great French fry place. We've been testing them all out wherever we go, and my weight and the scale has been telling me yes, you have.
I say she looks great. So.
Well, we're gonna work on that.
There you go. So those are my works in progress. And May, any works in progress for you?
Basically, I've been working on laying around, sitting around, enjoying the weather, walking, a little getting back into pickleball a little bit. We didn't
Right.
play over there, but yeah, just getting back into things, but not too busy the crafting part.
Okay. It will happen.
Yes,
It will happen.
it will.
The car goes out of the garage and May goes into the garage. There we go. So that's our works in progress. And next we're going to talk about our adventure.
Great, we get to talk about our adventure and our cruise, and the people that we met were amazing.
That's right.
And we get to talk about the yarn store that we visited, and I'm so excited. A little slow getting back into the podcast here, you know, getting back into the thick of things,
that's
but
right.
we're so glad to be back and
Exactly.
to share our experience with you. Now, what we can do is I'll show you where we went. The first part of our trip, we went from Boston to Maine to Halifax. And in Halifax, we visited the Loop in Halifax, and Mimi was the store owner. We had a nice chat with her.
That's right.
Colleen can talk to you all about the yarn store. Do you want to do that before we put the video in? Do you want to do that after we put the video in? Why don't we put the video in of our trip, our first part of the trip, and we'll explain all about it. We took the train to Toronto.
Yes, we
and
did.
then across the road was the Royal York Hotel,
Right.
and they had a shuttle bus that takes you to the island. What's the name of that airport?
Billy Bishop.
Billy Bishop Airport, which is on the island in Toronto. Very easy to get to from London, just from
Yeah.
the via train.
Right.
And then from there, we flew, and I've got from the flight from Boston
Yes.
over Toronto, which you can see in the video.
Beautiful
And we'll just
video.
go ahead, put that video in, and then we'll come back and talk all about our first little part of the trip, which was to Halifax. This is Billy Bishop Airport. As I was just taking off, it was a beautiful day. You could see for quite a distance.
It's
was
a
hardly
great
any wind.
picture of the propeller. Holy smokes, you did a great job.
It was just a random thing. I think I did that with my phone. I just had my phone up.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. And it gives you a good idea of the landscape of Toronto. And I think the plane goes about 200 miles an hour here.
Wow. There is the CN Tower.
That if you go on the top of it in the restaurant, it will rotate
That's
360 degrees. Now, it
That's
doesn't
right.
spin as you're eating. It goes very, very slowly. So that you get a view of Toronto when you're having your dinner, which is beautiful waterfront.
Look at all those buildings. Oh, my goodness.
It's kind of neat to see from the sky, isn't it?
It is. It's amazing.
This was a great flight, very smooth. We didn't go very high. You could actually see the landscape all across our flight, basically. And it only takes about an hour and a half. And you're up for about an hour, and then they give you a little bit of glass of wine, and then by the time you have your wine, you're starting to descend.
Wow.
So it didn't seem to go very...
Didn't take a long
That's
time, that's
right.
for sure. There's
And-
the wine.
Yep. And then by the time you have your wine, it's time to come down. And this is Boston.
And it's neat because you come in over the water. I was amazed at the how busy the roads were, but how many boats there were in the harbor. Unbelievable. Yeah, we had great weather for traveling, that's for sure.
The whole trip was sunny the whole time. It was smooth sailing.
Absolutely.
Now coming up, we didn't realize it at the time. I didn't realize it at the time, but the harbor that we see coming up, that is where our ship will be in the morning. And all that long white there, that long white building there, that was where our ship basically was stationed in the morning when we got up. But we did spend the overnight in Boston,
which was great.
Lovely, and you know, we did go to the Olive Garden for dinner,
which was wonderful.
Yes, I had spaghetti.
So did I, and I ate most of it. Normally I don't, but it was so good.
And you know what? There was no meat in that spaghetti.
I know.
And it was still really good.
It was great.
Oh,
here we are arriving in.
And this is the landing.
Smooth sailing, smooth landing.
It's always a nice feeling coming down, I'm telling you.
And the nice thing was, because we had done the flight at the beginning, there was no flight at the end of our trip. So
that's right. We took the train home from Montreal, which was wonderful. And we didn't have to worry about going through security and customs and all that.
Because we'd already done
Montreal, we were done.
And there's the ship.
And that was the ship in Boston in the morning. It was lovely. And it was great. Got on there. Colleen and I were probably one of the first 100 people to get on the ship. Our room was beautiful.
Yep, and we chose an inside cabin. I'd do it again. It was great.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Colleen was a little concerned about getting an inside cabin, but I think it worked out really well. We were hardly in the room at all. And this is just the lower level. As you go up, you can see, I think it's only about 3 levels. It's not a huge ship. But big enough that it has a pool and
that's right.
A couple of pools actually. You had an outdoor pool. Our room was down one of these corridors, and what people do is they sometimes tack something on the door, like a flag, or to just let you know what the room is, which is a great idea. And I love that when you go in the elevator, you can see the day of the week, which is helpful because when you're on a cruise, all the days feel like Sunday.
Right. And so this was the, I think, level 8, which is the Lido deck. So all the chairs and loungers all around the pool.
Was never really that busy. My favorite was to take a lounge chair and put it by the window, and that's where I would sit for when I wanted to rest, coming into port, going.
Right.
And Colleen and I mostly had the pool to ourselves, then the hot tub, because it wasn't very busy.
Now this is first thing in the morning, and you can see that it's almost like a net that they put over top of the pool. They do it over top of the hot tub so that nobody goes in when the hours aren't there. Yeah.
But the temperature of the pool was really warm. Like
it was lovely.
I don't really tend to go into the pool when it's cold, so I was in it almost every day.
Now, the interesting thing is you can see the water moving. Now, that you didn't feel the boat moving that much, but you could tell because the water in the pool was kind of sloshing here and there. It was a beautiful pool.
I don't know if you see on the right-hand side, they had lifts there for people that had disabilities to go in and...
And here we are at food. So this is breakfast. Only I could recognize it because of all the fruit and yogurt and oatmeal and chia seed and all kinds of stuff. And there's some...
No, I never had one of these, but they smelled and looked delicious.
Yeah, I know. They looked great. It's cinnamon buns. Oh my goodness, yes.
And as we're going through this video, I'm very, very hungry. It's making me hungry. Great, hand station, sanitizing was never any issue on the ship.
Yeah, and at lunch there was lots of different salads that you could have.
And I just wanted to put that out there because everything looks so fresh.
Exactly. And this is kind of morning where they have juices and buns. And then this looks kind of like lunch, but it's all the stuff that you can put in an omelet. So they have it with an omelet station. And here comes spinach and mushrooms and onions and ham and oh my goodness.
Things you can't even think of.
There's the omelets being made.
And at lunchtime they had pasta, they had Thai, they had all kinds of things you could get. I mean, this is the breakfast because...
Exactly.
I mean, holy smokes.
Bacon, scrambled eggs.
Every kind of jam, fruits. You certainly didn't go hungry, did we?
No, no, no. Sometimes it was hard to decide what you wanted because there were so many choices. Different kinds of bread, English muffins, bagels, hash browns. They had all different sausages. They had the pork sausage, turkey sausage, and then they had the sausage cake. They had ham. Oh my goodness, so much food. And it was really well organized how they did it. And there's smoked salmon for May, but I don't know if you had any while we
I
were
didn't
there.
have any smoked salmon, but I should have. Now that I see it, I want it now. Cold meats, cheeses, buns. Oh,
Croissants, donuts, danishes. Oh my gosh, I'm getting hungry again. Muffins. Those rolls look really good.
they look so fresh.
Exactly.
I would definitely go
Fantastic.
back just for the food.
That's right. And desserts. Oh my gosh, at lunch and dinner, so many choices. There's bread pudding.
I had apple crisp and custard. The custard was great. Just got a little glimpse of it there. But, you know, most days I would have 2 desserts because I could never just pick one. They just,
Hard to decide when they
Right.
all look so good.
and they were just little, like, I mean, little portions.
That's right.
This is what they call the crow's nest, which you can see basically out. Well, this is the breakfast part.
Yeah.
And this
This
was
was
in Portland.
Yeah.
And we took a picture of the chef shop here because my son's a chef. And this was at the pier, part of the Berlin Wall, which was kind of neat.
All these logs.
And
It was beautiful.
yeah, and then after Portland, Maine, we headed out to Halifax overnight. And this is us coming in to Halifax. Colleen and I would generally get up in the mornings or really early and look out the window or have breakfast, and we would be coming into a port. And then we would get off the ship, and then we found the Loop.
And there's Mimi. Great, all kinds of lovely books. Those are the ones from Newfoundland.
And it was great that it was in walking distance from the ship.
Exactly. I did make May go up a hill. Look at, there's embroidery, all different kinds of yarns and threads. Brilliant. And there was some felting.
Very spacious store to walk around.
It was.
Wasn't very
And
tight.
it bright, nice big windows. It's nice and bright. That was beautiful.
I couldn't believe the feel of that. What is in this? I thought. Oh, it's silk.
There we go.
It feels so nice and
I wish
soft.
I sometimes may see things and I don't even see them. Look at that. So it's really well organized as far as weights of yarn. And there's lots of different yarns, some of them, lots of Canadian yarns.
Definitely, if you're in the Halifax area, I would definitely
Recommend going to
this.
the Loop.
And Mimi was lovely. She was so nice and helpful, and
Lots of great samples. There was mohair.
I like when yarn stores have the cubes for some reason.
Well, it keeps it really nice and organized, and it kind of divides colors too. It's really good. There's some sock blockers, and there are some project bags.
Now you were saying Mimi just got a shipment in and was
Exactly. So you'll see on the table, it looks like there's just yarn everywhere, but there was yarn everywhere because it was from handmade yarns. You'll see it coming up here if May pans along, and all of a sudden there's all this yarn that needs to be put away. You can see by the tag that it's handmade yarn. Beautiful yarn. My brain was wanting to get everything, but I knew that I needed to get something I could do on the ship with no problem. So I looked at needles, and as I mentioned, then the circular needles were all tucked in a big drawer. It was a great way of organizing it. I really, really loved it. So I just decided I'd look for some sock yarn so I could make a pair of socks while I was on the ship. And as we know, Colleen likes to go around and round and
There's
round.
Mimi.
There's me and Mimi, and there's my sock yarn. And Mimi had suggested that we go to the
library to get a good view from the top of the library, which we did. So thank you for that, Mimi. And this is the top. We just took a picture of some of the windows. This is just to show you a little bit of Halifax. And, you know, just what's around the main street. There's, a car I saw on the main street. And TD Bank, that's our bank here in London.
Yeah.
And then we walked the beachfront.
Right.
Which is a lovely walk, isn't it? This was a private boat that was, you know, well taken care of, I would say.
And there's Peggy's Cove.
Right. We had a lovely time in Peggy's Cove.
Beautiful pictures. It was beautiful that day.
Right,
you
yeah.
can tell. The sun shining.
Had a great time in Halifax. Would definitely like to go back. So that kind of gave you a little bit of idea of how our trip started for the first 3 days. The biggest thing, Colleen, was when we got to Boston. We did spend overnight in Boston when we got there. And we went to the Olive Garden. And we were so excited to be there. And people from the Boston, they were getting on our ship. They said, oh, typical Canadians. Because we were just so excited about the Olive Garden.
It was thrilling. It was thrilling.
It was. We had the best dinner. That just made the trip right there.
That's right.
We would get up to the early morning walks in Portland, as you saw in the video. That was enjoyable. Also, the excursion to Peggy's Cove was kind of
when we got to Halifax. So I said, we had looked at all the excursions. I said, May, you haven't seen Peggy's Cove. You really need to go. So we went to Peggy's Cove. We did the yarn store in the morning. And then we did Peggy's Cove in the afternoon. So we took the bus. It was nice. We took the bus there.
Beautiful day. Weather was amazing.
Exactly. And so I was, you know, wandering over a few rocks. Because guess what Peggy's Cove is? Lots of rocks.
Colleen wanted to get the best photo for the podcast ever.
Well, I didn't go near the water. Let's be honest. But I was up on top of a rock. And May said,
I said, Colleen, get over here. You're too far. Be careful. And, you know, all those things that
and
you
I'm
say.
saying, don't worry, don't worry, don't worry. It's okay. But I respected what she said. And I got back. And then what happened, May?
There was 2 ambulances. No, there was two fire trucks and an ambulance. I think somebody had fallen. It wasn't from our group.
No, not from our group, but some,
yeah,
probably between 30 and 40-year-old woman had fallen, scraped both knees, scraped an elbow. She had a washcloth on her head.
They actually had to take her away after a while.
Yeah, they took her to the hospital.
So then Colleen after that was very careful.
I was careful before, but at least I didn't venture too far away from Miss May. But we did enjoy seeing Peggy's Cove before all that issue.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, we talked about the trip, but the people on the trip actually made the trip. So there was Ashley and Joe, who we had dinner with every night. They were from California, and they had just moved to Maine.
Maryland.
Maryland. And they were absolutely amazing. They helped make the trip. So if you're watching this podcast, Joe and Ash, so nice to see you again. Hello. And also Connie and Henry, lovely. And I'll explain in the Souvenirs what Connie did. She did a really nice gesture. So make sure you watch Souvenirs and you'll see what Connie got for us. And we only talked to Connie a few times. It was great to meet all of them. So people made the trip. Wonderful. Highly recommend it. And we'll talk more on our next podcast about the next part of our adventure in Newfoundland.
Perfect. That sounds great. Now, we do have to talk about Mimi and the Loop Halifax. So we did have to go up a hill, which was lovely, because I said, May, up that hill, there's a yarn store. So we're going. So up we went. We found it no problem. It was on Barrington Street. And it's in a beautiful location, bright windows, really well organized. Mimi was lovely. It's so funny. Up was all the different knitting needles, but I didn't see any circular ones. I said, do you have any? Because I needed some sock needles. And then I looked right below where she was, and there was a whole filing cabinet, basically, with what I needed. Because what happened was, we went, because we were flying through, like, from Toronto to Boston, and I knew on a flight I wouldn't be able to take knitting needles, and I didn't want to have knitting needles taken away. So I said to May, well, as soon as we get to a yarn store, I'll get some knitting needles and some yarn. Not that I needed to be knitting all the time, but it keeps me busy and out of trouble sometimes. So when we got to the Loop, I was looking around. I thought I'm going to get some sock yarn because takes a while to knit, and I'll get some sock needles because doesn't need more sock needles, and away I will go. So the store itself is really well organized. It's by weights. They've got beautiful yarn there, and I know you'll see a lot in the video. And Mimi was lovely.
And they've been there for 20 some odd years. I think it was 20 some odd years. Quite a few years.
There we go.
And Trina from Spin Me a Yarn, and Tobiko had been there and had told us about the yarn store also.
Okay, there you go.
So there you go.
So it was lovely, and I thank you, Mimi, for letting us take some pictures and talking to us about your journey into that lovely yarn store. So that is our adventure, and next we're going to talk about souvenirs. My souvenirs actually became something while we were on our trip. I had taken a dental floss thing so I could cut yarn, so it worked out really well. So I'm going to show you the yarn itself. Oh, there's my knitting needles. I'll let May hold those. So I just got a 32-inch circular needle. It's 2.25 millimeters. And this is the yarn that I found, and it's called Flot Sock, which I'm sure is that. And it is cotton, polyamide, and polyester. It's lovely to work with. I've got lots left, so I may be able to make some other little something with that. So that's the yarn, ball band on, and then these are what I was able to make for me. The yarn just felt so good. Initially I thought, well, I could make those for somebody else. I'll just get the yarn and start. And then I kept saying to me, I don't think these are for somebody else. I said, I think they're gonna be for me. And I'm happy that I did. They're gonna be great.
And we met somebody on the ship that was knitting, and she had a bag of yarn. She had gone off the ship. We were waiting for the store to open. Remember that?
Right.
And I thought, how did she get that yarn? The store's not open, but apparently the store was open. As soon as Colleen found out it was open earlier, we were off that ship in a flash.
That's right.
To the yarn store.
Yeah, that's right.
But it was nice. It was
Exactly.
good. And these are good, nice. Love the feel of that.
I know, it's great. And that is the Jemima pattern again by K.F. Jones.
Nice.
Exactly. Now, May, souvenirs for you.
So thank you to our friend Connie. So we met Connie maybe a couple of times. We had conversation with her. She sat with us through one of the the evenings, and we ran into her in the hallway, and she was gonna maybe say hello to us at dinner.
Right.
And then she gave Colleen an envelope, and she had purchased for us our
Souvenir picture.
souvenir picture. How nice was that?
Connie says, sweetie, thanks, Connie.
Thank you for that. Appreciate that. What a nice gesture. We weren't going to buy that. I mean,
No.
we don't really need to have that, but it was just
Now
really
it's
nice.
really
Now
nice.
it has a lot of meaning. So she did that. So
That's right.
we really appreciate that. We appreciate meeting you, and Henry was lovely, and the people, like I said, made it. So
That's right.
Yeah, and the weather.
And the weather.
Right.
Yes, we did not have rain.
And the people on Holland America, I can't say enough. They were from the
Exactly.
Philippines and different places all over.
That's
And
right. They took very good care of us.
Good care of us. Felt like we were taking care of that whole trip. It was just absolutely amazing.
That's right.
So
We are happy to be back. I'm feeling a little rusty.
Yes,
I must
me too.
admit. It's kind of like, oh my gosh, we got so many things
if
to
I'm
talk
looking
about.
like a little stern or not smiling, it's because I'm thinking, oh, okay, how's this working out?
That's right. Exactly.
But anyway.
But we are glad
Yes.
to be back. So thanks so much for watching. If you like what you're seeing, give us a thumbs up, comment down below, subscribe,
Ring that bell.
and then you'll get notifications when we put a new one up. So we have had a little bit of a hiatus. We're back on track. So we'll probably be doing one of these every couple of weeks. So thanks again for watching, and until next time.
You take care.